Hey guys, Break here and welcome back to the third episode in my How to Make Gold series. Now this is the series where I teach you how to go from nothing, zero gold, zero experience in making gold to hopefully being a gold making expert and a real professional goblin where you can buy whatever you want. So far we've talked about setting up your bank alt and your guild bank and also getting your first 100,000 gold. So by now you should have around 100,000 gold, and we can now start learning TSM, Trade Skill Master, the best add-on, something I think is necessary for making gold effectively. Now I have actually already done a video or a series of videos on Trade Skill Master. It's called TSM for Noobs. So if you search that you will be able to find it, and I go through step by step how to do specific things on Trade Skill Master. But it's all in different videos. I thought I'd do an overall video just to get you started. So first of all, you want to go to Curse, and you want to go to Trade Skill Master. Here you go. And you want to install basically everything I've installed. Now, there's a load of things here, and it can be quite daunting, but don't worry. I just try and get it done. Now, some of them are out of date or don't really work anymore. So I would only install the ones that are by these guys, the author, and that have 7.3 update. So just all the ones I've got here really. There are some others, but either they're outdated or haven't been updated. Price checker is a thing. I don't really use that. It's not by the same people. So yeah, I would just do all of these things here and you should be good to go. Now the thing about TSM is it has two different parts. The first part is the in-game add-on and the second part is the desktop application. So what you want to do now is go onto the TSM website, install TSM, WoW add-on, we've already got that, and then the Trade Skill Master app. You have to log in to download the app. That means you've got to go create yourself an account. I've already got an account, so you just log in and you download the application. The final thing you want to do on the website is mouse over your name, go to app configuration, realm selection, and then choose your realm. Make sure if you're on EU, you're choosing it as an EU realm, US realm, whatever. Choose your specific realm and any other realms. Say if you sell pets on other realms, you might want to choose those, but basically just choose your realm and then you're good to go. Now the TSM application will just run in the background all the time. Once you've added a realm, you might have to turn off the desktop app and turn it back on again. And yeah, it's just going to, whenever you turn your computer on, it's just going to load and it's going to be running in the background. Don't worry, it doesn't take up much memory or anything like that. And it's just going to be a lifesaver for you. It just gives you up-to-date information on all the items. Look, I scroll over this glyph right here. Right, the minimum buyout is 6,000 gold. Well, that was 20 minutes ago, so it might have changed. It doesn't give you literally up to date by the second, but it generally gives it within every 30 to 1 hour. And yeah, I can quickly mouse over an item and see exactly what it's costing. So powerful, so good. You need the desktop app. Just let it run in the background. Let it update the realm. When you first get it and add your realm, it might take a few minutes to get your realm data, but then you should be good to go. Now there are a few more things you should probably do before you try and use Trade Skill Master. It's just going to help you out in the long run. So first of all, you press it. It's right here in the mini-map. That's how you load Trade Skill Master. And as you can see, there are some initial info. Just ignore this. I don't know why surely they should let you just hide this because everyone has the desktop app. But it doesn't matter. You want to go onto macro setup. And all you want to do is create macro and bind scroll wheel there. And then it's going to say macro and scroll wheel bound. So this is going to be when you're posting auctions, you can just, I'll show you what it means. When you're posting auctions like this imbued silkweave, I can just scroll my mouse and it will go post them all, and then it just posts a load more things as well. That you guys get the picture. I'm not clicking anything, I'm just scrolling my mouse. If you like having your scroll wheel for zooming in and zooming out, as a lot of people have it, then you can set the modifier, suppress the control, and then bind scroll macro, and then it will work. I do sometimes find a bug where I press create scroll wheel macro, I then go to custom prices, I come back to macro setup, and it won't be bound, or like something else will be ticked. And then you have to press it again same thing, and then it should be working. So I sometimes get that bug. I don't know if you guys do, but that will fix it if you do. Next up, you want to go to min price. Now you just want to do this, don't ask why. So you want to type in min price here, press enter, and then you'll get all this, and you want to paste this thing in here. I'm going to leave this in the description below of the video so you guys can paste this in. Now this next part, you want to go onto options, go to account syncing, and if you do have two accounts on the same Battle.net, it's very important that you sync them. So what you have to do is log on to both accounts at once, be on the same server, and then type in the name on one account, the name of the character. So say I'm logged into Bregalad on this server as well as Bregsbank. I'd type in Bregalad, I'd press refresh sync, and it should start to search. You can also do it on the other one, so I'd go on Bregalad's TSM and do the sync, and this will sync them together, but you don't really actually do that. Just do this on this one guy, sync to Bregalad, hopefully it will find Bregalad, and then whenever I log on to any other characters, they'll all be added. Again, this is only if you have multiple accounts, but this will let you keep track of items across your accounts, and it's just really useful to have. Kind of necessary if you craft with two accounts such as me, and if not, you don't have to bother with this. But yeah, this entire options menu is kind of your choice, what you want to do with it. I'll just scroll down and you guys can pause if you want to copy all my settings. Appearance doesn't really matter. Profiles, that's just the different profiles for different characters if you want. Auction buys, misc features, and then again, I'm just going to go through all these and you guys can tick if you want. I'll explain the important ones. This one's quite important to tick. Well, it kind of depends. Whenever you trade, it's going to say, do you want TSM to record this trade? And this will stop that from happening, so it's up to you. This, I wouldn't show auction DB, it's completely irrelevant. These are general options. Again, not really needed, because you have operations we'll talk about in a bit. Crafting, destroying, mailing, shopping, shopping, vendoring. Again, I'm just going through all these. You guys can copy if you want, but it's not that important. However, these tooltip ones are quite important. I want to tick show sale info. So that means if you sold it, it'll tell you exactly what the average is you sold for, etc. Same with purchase info. You want to definitely have these two ticked, and then I have region market, region sale, and region sale rate all ticked because I want to know the region value of something. So that means if your realm could be like a low pop, or it just could be like something's really skewed, like a bit of transmog's worth 100,000 gold on your server. Maybe people have just been putting it at 100,000 gold for a while, and it's actually worth like 100 gold. So you'll be able to quickly mouse over something, as I show you here. So the min buy on my server is 1700, and the market value is 1800, and then the region market value is 2700. So actually that's quite cheap compared to the region. It's probably because my realm's more high pop than most, and that'll be why. For crafting, I want to tick all of these. I think that's quite important as well. Again, if we mouse over that glyph, it shows the crafting cost at 1300, and it measures that from the light parchment from the vendor, and then the roseate and sallow pigments, and yeah, 480 gold profit, which is pretty nice. That would be why I have 5 on the auction house at the moment. You probably shouldn't do that, but I like to just do that so it doesn't spam my bags. Anyway, and then finally shopping, I like to tick that. You are now almost set up. Just a couple more things. I would set the price of some of the materials. So you want to go on to crafting over here. You want to go on to materials, and you want to search for blood of Sargeras. Now I always set this to 400 gold. You can set it to a custom price, which will measure like the different cost of all the mats at the Blood of Sargeras trainer. Whatever, I like to put it at 400 gold because you can put it at 300 or 200. I think 400 is good though because I don't like to farm Blood of Sargeras much, so they're quite valuable to me. And I think 400 gold's a good price. And then the same with the Primal Sargerite. Right here, I put that to 500 gold. To be honest, I should probably lower it. I might lower it to 400 to be fair, because I mean, there's just so many of them. My main's got so many of them, and I don't think it's really worth 500. I'll put it to 400. Oh, one last thing, back on the options and destroying. If you want the destroying, which is the disenchanting and like mass milling frame to pop up whenever you have something to destroy, then you can select that. I have it just because whatever, but a lot of people don't like it, so that's up to you really. Finally is the sniping. Again, you might not even know what this is, don't worry. Just go into options again, go into shopping, and you want to paste in here a string, and again that will be shown in the description below. So in the description below we will have the shopping string as the second paste, and the first paste will have the min price string we set up earlier. Where is that? Here it is. There we go guys, that should be you all set and ready to go. So now you're set up, you may be wondering, how do we use TSM? Look at someone's buying all my glyphs. It's all exciting, isn't it? Once you've kind of mastered TSM, you can use it for everything. Literally everything to do with gold making, to do with warehousing, accounting, mailing, all that stuff. But for the start, you probably don't want all those. You just want a basic idea of how it works. Then once you've mastered one aspect, you can add more aspects. That's what I suggest. To give you one example, I don't use TSM warehousing. I don't like it. I'm not an expert on how it all works, and I just prefer to do that myself, so my bank and guild bank are all just normal. So I don't actually even install the TSM warehousing. That's not something I like, but it could be something you like. Again, completely up to you. I don't like that. You might like it. I don't have that selected. And it's very easy if you just don't like an aspect of the add-on. Just deselect it, go into your add-ons page and just don't select that part. But I do suggest having all of them at the start just to kind of get an idea of what works. Anyway, how do you actually get going with TSM once you've done all that stuff? What you need is groups and operations. That is how TSM works. So these two right here. Again, I've done separate videos on groups and operations. If you just search my TSM for Noob series, and I'm not going to go into detail here because I've already done that in that video. What I will definitely recommend though is to first get an idea of it yourself before importing a load of groups. I give my paste bin at the bottom of the description of every video is my paste bin, and you can go into there and import groups. I've done a video explaining how to do that as well on my channel. So if you're interested in that, then go check that out. But for the moment, I suggest you just try out a few things first. So to make a group, you just type in the group name. We're going to do Breg test. And then all the items in your bags that aren't in a group will show up here. So I want to put enchant ring and a glyph and a couple of potions in. So that it's like a crafting group. This astral healing, we'll put that in as well, and the codex. So this is my crafting group, let's say. Again, if you do want to just import stuff, then go in the import string, paste it in. Like I said, I've done a video on that, but for now we're just going to do that. This is our group. And now how do we use stuff in this group? We need to add an operation. So you press onto operations, and auctioning, that's for selling. Crafting, that's for crafting. Obviously mailing, shopping, vendoring, warehousing, don't really bother with those. Okay, but auctioning, we don't have any operations. We're going to create an operation. Breg test sell. Press OK. Yes. Now, this is going to be how we sell the items that are in that group. So I'm going to go post. You can just leave all this. You want to go to post, and here there are a lot of options for you. Post cap is how many you want to post. I always set this to, well, it depends. But, you know, if you only want to post one of each and keep the rest in your bags, then you can. Just keep that at 1, otherwise you can move it up. Stack size, if you are selling things in stacks of 20, you'll probably make a different operation for that, so we'll leave that as 1. You can leave everything else about the same. It's just down here is the important stuff. So minimum price. This is a crafting group, remember? It's all stuff you can craft, so I'm going to say 106% crafting. Maximum price will say 500% crafting. And normal price is if there's either none on the auction house or none in your stack size if you've pressed match stack size, but this is basically going to be if there's none on the auction house. So we'll say, well, we want to make at least double, so we'll go to 50% crafting. We're on a high pop server, so there almost always will be some on the auction house. Now these are very, very simple groups and probably not ideal. Again, next video we'll go over how to import your groups from different people, and they've got much more detailed groups for you. Then over here we've got when below minimum, don't post. Yeah, we'll stay that. And when above maximum, we'll post a maximum. And there we go. So now when we go to the auction house, we'll see what happens. So you want to go to auctioning. These are your two tabs now, guys. These are going to be your two favorite tabs, especially auctioning. And just a quick overview of what this is. If you press that, it's going to cancel them all. If you can change to like these are all running out in less than 2 hours, so I might as well cancel them. I often do that when I log on to cancel. And then quick post from bags, I really don't suggest you do that. But that's just going to quickly post everything in your bags for like generic prices. Pretty risky, don't do that. But you want to go start post scan. Okay, so it doesn't like the Codex of Tranquil Mind because my min price is invalid. That's probably because I haven't set things up quite right because we've only got one group. Don't worry about that, guys. But here we go. So the Astral Healing Potion, these are all just undercutting. And for these three, it said maximum amount already posted because we only pressed the 1. Remember when it was like post cap where you left at 1. So I've already got one of each of these on the auction house, so it's not going to post them. And because we set up our scroll wheel macro, we can just scroll, and there we go, it just posted them. That is the general idea about how TSM works, guys. Well, TSM auctioning anyway. So that's what I suggest you do, guys. I suggest you spend a good 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours playing around with this kind of thing, making your own groups, trying to work out auctioning operations. We will talk about the other operations in a separate video. But for now, you just want to test how to post things. And once you've done that, you can, if you want to, import my groups, import someone else's groups. I personally think my groups are better than the other groups out there because the other groups have some issues which I fixed, and I made mine a bit more simple. So I would import mine if you want to anyway. Again, how do we do this? We go on to Breg group. Okay, we're just making it. Okay, now we won't do that. We'll say alchemy. Yeah, we go to import string. Now, if you go to the bottom of the description of this video, go on my paste bin, it will load you in. You can then select the alchemy. You want to copy everything from the raw paste, and you want to paste it in here. Okay, you don't want to do that. It's a random YouTube video. Let me go copy it quick. So here we go. We Control V it all in, press OK. And there we go. We now have a group with all the different alchemy things. Again, I suggest playing around with this, making sure you understand it, and then you can start importing my other groups. I will say in between each import, you want to /reload. Otherwise, the game will kind of break, or TSM will break anyway. So make sure you do that. Anyway, these are a mixture of muffins, item IDs, and Shara and Zionic's groups and operations, or subgroups and operations. They're kind of my groups, to be fair. I changed them so much. But each profession, or each whatever it is split into 3 as of Shara and Zionic, as I was saying. So Legion Alchemy, Alchemy Established Markets, and Old World Alchemy. So the Legion Alchemy obviously is everything from Legion. Established markets is old stuff, but that sells really well. Stuff like the True Gold transmutes, Living Steel transmutes, water flasks, which still sell well for some reason, Vial of the Sands, all that. And then Old World Alchemy is kind of the older stuff that still does sell, just nowhere near as much, obviously. Now, when importing from my groups, they should already have the operation attached. If you do the import string and it says, this already has an operation with this name, do you want to replace, and just press skip, because it doesn't matter. But anyway, every single one of these should come with its own operation. So here, crafting MV normal single times 5. What does that mean? It's posting 5 stacks of 1 for 24 hours. Basically, once you import all my groups, you're going to have a load of new operations here. Okay, so this is just a few at the moment, but when you import more, you'll get more operations. Again, I can't really explain every single aspect because you guys are going to have to kind of work it out for yourself, or it's not going to work. But say this is Shayra's operation, which I kind of changed. MV narrow means it's posting really narrow, and you'll see here the min, max, and normal, the one that we put 106% crafting. Here it's got loads of stuff, so not only 106% crafting, but then what if you can't craft it, or it's not at that, then you can go over and it uses loads of other operations. Don't worry yourself too much about what it means. It's basically going to post your items at a good price. But just for a general overview, if you see this is normal stack 10 times 1, so that's posting 1 stack of 10. 10 times 5, that's posting 5 stacks of 10. You see the postcat 5, stack size 10. 20 times 1 obviously is 1 stack of 20. And, 5 times 1, 1 stack of 5. 20 times 5, 5 stacks of 20. And an important thing to note here is for these stacks, we've got a match stack size ticked. That means that it's going to ignore, say you're posting stacks of 20, it's going to ignore the stacks of 1, the stacks of 10. It's going to find the cheapest stack of 20, and you're going to post for that. Why is this the case? Pretty simple. It's so people buy in different stack sizes, and as I've said in multiple videos, posting in a higher stack size, you can actually sell for a lot more, and people will still buy it. The single unlimited operation is a very basic one I've done. As you see here, I use 90%, 170 and 300%. You can use different ones. In fact, I have used different ones. I haven't updated this. I'll go update it, guys. I'll update it for you to make sure it's all up to date. But anyway, the basic idea is that it will post up to 200 stacks of 1. So if you just want to get rid of things in your bag, say you've got 7 random potions in your bag, you can just set the operation unlimited, and there you go. I know it's getting a bit complicated, guys, but I'm trying to go very slowly. Like I say, you're just going to have to get used to it. And this is just auctioning, but once you've got used to auctioning, the crafting and stuff, we'll cover that in the next video. Another thing for you to understand is that more than one operation can be used. So say for the mana potion here, I'm using the 20 stacks of 5, so that's 5 stacks of 20. So first of all, say I've got 200 of these mana potions, it will first post 5 stacks of 20, it will then post 5 stacks of 10, and then it will post another 5 stacks of 10, so I don't know why I've got two of the same. But anyway, that will post 5 stacks of 20 and 10 stacks of 10, and that will be how you post your 200. And that's good because posting at different stack sizes, it's going to get you a better chance of selling for higher prices. I could also do a stack of 5 here. I probably should have done that. But again, that's your choice. Anyway, I hope you guys are getting a basic understanding. Once you have all of my groups imported, you'll have a lot of operations here, but each of the operations will already be set to the group. So, like I say, here is the mana potions. They've already got those. If I want to change that, then I can just go override, and I can set my own one, say single unlimited. So that will just put them all in stacks of 1, as I just showed you. So you can change the operations if you want, but that's the basic idea to remember is groups. You need a group, and then you need to attach an operation to that group. Hopefully you guys are getting the idea and starting to understand the power of TSM. It is by far the best add-on you can get. in the game in terms of auctioning, and I really wouldn't live without it. Let's be honest. Every major goblin has TSM. That's just kind of a fact. Maybe if all you do is farm materials and then just sell them with Auctionator, that could probably work. But apart from that, every major goblin will use TSM, and if they're not, then they're not being efficient enough, sadly. Anyway, what I'm going to do is go back to my main profile, my default profile. So this is me with all of my different groups, and yeah, everything should be like, if you see, if I mouse over a certain thing, it will have in the top there where it says Engineering, Legion Engineering 6 Failure Detection Pylon. That's the specific group and subgroup that this is in, so that I can then go to that engineering. What was it again? I've forgotten. Legion Engineering Failure Detection Pylon. Okay, it's pretty basic right there. And now then I can go and see what operation it has attached to it, or operations perhaps. And yes, so I posted in 5 stacks of 20 and 1 stack of 10. And I'm going to add another one there, single unlimited, just so I can post the rest random ones. Single. Okay, look, this is my new single unlimited. As I said before, I haven't updated, so when I imported, it wasn't the same as my updated one, so I will update it on my pastebin for you guys. But yeah, that's what you want to do. To learn TSM, you want to mouse over sunning. Oh look, inscription, talent changes, 15 to 110. So again, what we do, we'll go to inscription. We will go to talent changes, 15 to 110. And when it loads, we'll go to the Codex of the Tranquil Mind group, and we'll see what operation it has. Sometimes it can be a bit slow because TSM is very powerful. And here we go. So what do? I post 2 stacks of 5 and 2. That's weird. I don't know why it's set like that. See, I thought it was weird because it had been in my bags for ages. So we will post, yeah, the 2 stacks of 5 is good. And then we'll also post the single unlimited because I just want to get rid of all that. So there we go. Now, if we go to post, it should try and post the codex as singles, hopefully, if it's the right price. So again, we'll go to auctioning. We'll go to start post scan. It's going to scan through everything I've got here, and hopefully we'll get something good. Hopefully. Okay, there's the failure detection pylon, posting those in the singles. And the codex, there we go as well. How much does it cost to craft? It doesn't even tell me. Whatever. The market value is 1,000. Right now it's going for 1,200, so it's definitely worthwhile. Sell off the rest of my stuff real quick. There you go, guys. I really hope you're getting the picture. We will cover shopping, and we will cover crafting in separate videos. And then apart from that, that's it. What else is there? Oh yeah, mailing. I'll quickly cover mailing now because it's just part of the basic thing. You can add a mailing operation to a specific profession group, whatever. So you go to operations, mailing, create new operation, and this is just my Breaks Bank one. So this basically, all it does is just sends any stuff from Alchemy to Breaks Bank, my bank alt. So when I'm on my Alchemist, I make a load of things. All I have to do is go to the mailbox and go to TSM groups, select Alchemy, not those two, Alchemy, mail selected groups, and then it will just mail everything from Alchemy to Breaks Bank. That's all a mailing operation does. Yeah, the mailbox will change, guys. It will look a bit different. It's actually really useful. You can either open all, or you can open a specific sort. So anything that's expired, you can open. Anything that's cancelled, you can open. All of these are sales. It's really good for me because I like doing my sale openings in videos. So it means when I open all, I can just open specific sort and I don't have to open sales. But yeah, there we go. It's really cool. And when you sell something, it will pop up on your chat window, exactly what it's sold for and all that good stuff. It's just awesome. Anyways, this is probably a really long video, but I think it's got a lot of useful information for people who do not have TSM. You'll have now downloaded TSM, set up everything correctly, learnt how it works, perhaps imported groups from myself. You've then got a load of groups and operations, and you can then start posting stuff at good prices really quickly. The whole point of TSM auctioning is just to save you time in the long run. I post over 1,000 auctions a day. Do you know how long that would take me if I had to go do it all separately, like move it over to the window and set a specific price and then sell it? That would just take so long. So this is going to do it all really quickly and make sure I make a profit on everything. So that is going to be it for today, guys. Again, we will talk about crafting next video, and then we'll talk about shopping. Those are the other two major features of TSM. And once you've mastered all of that, you're going to be well on your way to making a ton of gold. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please do tell me in the description below. And until next time, see ya.